Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It is your host with the biggest nose, JZ Courtside, coming at y'all today on Tuesday, January 13th. Good morning and salutations to all of you beautiful individuals who are tuning in live, the live crew on Twitch, JZ Uncut. Hello, podcast crew. Be sure to leave a 5-star rating and review. TikTok, YouTube, Twitch. It's very good to see all of you guys bright and early on this wonderful Tuesday morning. Hope everyone's doing absolutely phenomenal. Today's going to be a very, very fun episode. We are going to be breaking down a couple of the games from last night. We're going to be digging deep into the Los Angeles Lakers as well as the Cleveland Cavaliers. We're also going to be going over some salary around the league and talking about the trade deadline. Now, this isn't going to be an official trade episode, but it may as well be, because today we are going to be doing one of your guys' favorite segment that we do around here, the up or down report, where I say a statement and you guys tell me whether you're up or down about it. Except today's episode is the up down report trade edition. That's right. We are going to be getting into the little trade talks, and we're going to be deciding whether or not this player is going to be moved, that player is going to get moved, that team is going to make a move. Something along those lines. It's going to be the trade edition for the up-down report. Now, I was thinking later in this week, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, ladies and gentlemen, but the starters for the All-Star game are announced tomorrow. So I think either Thursday or Friday, I'm going to go ahead and do an episode where we all predict the final All-Stars, because it's a lot easier when they get 10 All-Stars, the starters, out of the way. In fact, is it going to be 15? Because there's technically going to be 3 teams. I don't know how Adam Silver is running this All-Star game. It sounds stupid, but we're gonna see. So I think the All-Star voting, I think the starters are announced Wednesday. I believe so, and then the other players are going to be later on. I believe. So before we get into this episode, guys, I want to remind everybody, if you are watching the stream on TikTok, to keep double tapping that screen over there. Really helps us in the algorithm. YouTube, you guys as well. Be sure to drop a like and subscribe. Drop a follow TikTok. And if you guys are watching on the Twitch stream, all you guys got to do, grab a cup of coffee, grab an energy drink, sit back, and enjoy the show. Let's get started with the Los Angeles Lakers losing 3 straight games and falling last night to the Sacramento Kings. Sorry. 124 to 112. Now, there's a lot I could say about this game, right? But how about we just start with a very important fact? The fact that Marcus Smart, Jake LaRavia, and Jared Vanderbilt went off last night. They had 0 points on a combined 0 for 20 shooting and 0 for 15 from three-point land. Now, this is just absolutely a disgrace. I just, like, what are you doing out there is my question. If you are shooting, this is my rec league team, by the way. Like, my rec league team is shooting 0 for 15 from 3. But these guys are out of shape 20, 30, and 40-year-olds. These guys are paid millions of dollars, and you can't hit a shot? You can't hit a shot? I remember at the beginning of this year, and you guys might remember if you guys were around here during that time, I said Jake LaRavia is such a low-key, underrated pickup for the Los Angeles Lakers. He's going to be the key reason why I have them in championship contention. I apologize to my podcast listeners for spitting into the mic. Holy moly, was I off? Or was he off? What was I thinking? Jake LaRavia started the season off in the first 3 weeks, shooting 65% from the field. I had to verify this. And 51% from 3. He was shooting 51% from 3 for the first 3 weeks of the NBA season. So for me saying that, it really can't be that bad of a take. Now, mind you, of course, these shots are wide open. That's the scary part. And now, you guys all know, if you guys have ever played basketball, flow state is a real thing, right? Rhythm shooting is a real thing. But if your name is Jared Vanderbilt, If your name is Marcus Smart, if your name is Jake LaRavia, you are not rhythm shooters. You are not flow state players. What you guys are, you guys are expected, if you're open, to knock those things down because that's your entire job as a Laker player. That is your job. That is the one job you have, is to make your open shots. So when you're not doing that, of course you're not going to win the game. How the hell would you? So let's talk a little bit deeper about this NBA team, because I don't want to sound like I'm being rude. I don't want to seem like I'm just picking at the Los Angeles Lakers. As you guys know, I'm a podcast that I enjoy talking about teams that don't really get talked about in most podcasts and sports shows, right? So for me to start with the Los Angeles Lakers, there has to be some reason why I want to talk about them. It's not because I'm hopping on the bandwagon to hate on this team. It's not because of that, because I don't talk about the Lakers. I really don't. I think I've spoken about the Lakers maybe 4 times this entire NBA season, and there's been a lot more storylines to follow than just 4 conversations about them. Now, let's talk about the three-point percentage. They shot 22% last night from 3, 8 for 36. Mind you, Luka had 2 of those threes, okay? Nobody else in the starting lineup hit a 3. Marcus Smart, 0 for 3. DeAndre Ayton didn't take a 3. Jake LaRavia was 0 for 5. LeBron James was 0 for 5. So when you're looking up and down this team, you have to bet. The question gets begged. If Luka's going to drop 42 points, then how many points is Luka going to give up? And of course, he's not guarding everybody on the team. They're hiding him on the worst offensive player for 90% of the game. But DeMar DeRozan had 32. Zach LaVine had 19. Maxime Reynaud had 11. And Russell Westbrook had a career game. I mean, he had a great game. He had 22 points. And when you look at Luka Doncic's help, he had LeBron get 22 on semi-efficient shooting, not really for LeBron. 3 turnovers. Jake LaRavia had 2 points, 1 for 7. DeAndre Ayton, 4 for 7, 13 points, 13 rebounds. I have something I got to talk about with DeAndre Ayton. We're going to talk about it here in a second. Marcus Smart, 1 point. He had a free throw. He was 0 for 5 from the field. Jared Vanderbilt, 0 for 3. Jackson Hayes, 12 and 5. Gabe Vincent, 9 points. Dalton Connect, 5. Maxi Kleber, nothing. Nick Smith Jr., nothing. And then Bronny for an efficient 2 for 2. He was a +4 when he was on the court. Let's look at this team seriously, okay? Let's try to figure out what is going on. Now, I'm sure you guys have noticed DeAndre Ayton looks sort of checked out. And this is the time of the year where DeAndre Ayton normally checks out. And if you don't believe me, go look at the few seasons previous. DeAndre Ayton starts falling off at the end of December, early January, and it's on schedule. Every single season that DeAndre Ayton has played in this NBA, even since his rookie season, he has horrible end of December, January, and the first half of February. This is how it's been for every type of season for his entire NBA career, and that's why teams end up giving up on this man. Now, something happened that I low-key want to talk about, and I'm surprised it didn't get that much media attention because we know how much the NBA loves this type of conversation. TikTok, be sure to keep double tapping that screen because the TikTok is toasted right now and we need some gas. So be sure to keep liking that stream up. So I want to talk about this very quickly, okay? In case you guys don't know, Dennis Schroeder of the Sacramento Kings got suspended for 3 games. And I think this was the second game. Yeah, this is the second game of his suspension, I believe. So Dennis Schroeder apparently went into the hallway, went into the locker room, and supposedly what I've heard is he was talking shit to Luka Doncic because Luka Doncic started it. He said, you should have signed that contract, baby. You should have signed that contract, baby. The contract that he was offered from the Lakers years ago. And I guess Dennis Schroeder got really pissed off because Luka was talking about his pockets. So Dennis Schroeder went into the locker room and smacked the piss out of Luka. And apparently, nobody broke it up. Apparently, DeAndre Ayton was just staring and just staring and just staring. Now, these are all reports, so I've seen confirmations of this happening. But with these reports, and the stats will back it up, Luka has passed to DeAndre Ayton 75% less since that incident happened on December 23rd. I think it was December 21st. I think December 21st, actually. So 75% less? Do you guys understand that that's not just a little number, right? That's not a little number. Luka Doncic has been passing the ball to DeAndre Ayton 75% less than prior to that incident happening. So I think the writing's on the wall here. I think that they're looking to move DeAndre Ayton, especially with the way that LeBron has been looking at him on the bench. I think, and then, of course, as you guys know, a week later, after the Lakers went on that cold streak after Christmas, they asked DeAndre Ayton, and I quote, they asked him, "What do you think is impacting your lack of impact in these games? Why are you not getting the ball as much?" And he said, I don't know. I think you do know, DeAndre, and I think you do know. I think it's because you just watched your teammate, your star player, get assaulted. Now, I see a Twitch comment, and they said Dallas would have jumped him, and I fully agree. If you're not standing up for your star player, for your future franchise player, for your current franchise player, then who the hell are you going to stand up for? DeAndre Ayton, the writing is on the wall, and I think, genuinely, there's going to be a move out of LA, and it's probably going to be him. Now, I low-key understand. I wouldn't say I feel for DeAndre Ayton, but what I will say is, like, Luka had the perfect supporting cast around him in Dallas. He had a secondary ball handler in Kyrie Irving that can control the flow of the game when he's out or when he needs a break. They had a perfect wing in PJ Washington that was great defensively and solid offensively. They also had, what's his name? Derrick Jones Jr., who was playing like the peak of his career prior to the injuries. And then they had two rim running centers in Derek Lively and Daniel Gafford. They had some dogs in Dallas. They had some defense on Dallas. And they also had some consistent offense around Luka Doncic to where it wasn't that much of a geocentric offensive scheme, right? I like to shout out Mr. Zyfex for dropping a follow on the Twitch stream. I appreciate it. Anybody else watching in the TikTok or YouTube, if you guys are enjoying the stream, you would enjoy it much, much more over here in the Twitch stream. It's where all my basketball community is hanging out at. We'd love to have y'all over here. I don't know why the TikTok is toasted, chat. I'm going to go ahead and end the TikTok. So if you guys want to watch the stream, just come through to the Twitch. JZ Uncut on Twitch. Yeah, I don't know why the TikTok is absolutely toasted. But anyways, let's continue our conversation over here, guys. Let us continue this conversation. So something that I've been also preaching about is that, yes, I see Luka Doncic, right? I see Luka Doncic, and I see the points he puts up, and I see the points he gives up, right? Now, when does it become a concern as to how many points he's giving up? When do you look at Luka Doncic and say, hey, buddy, can you like actually try a little bit on defense? And my honest answer is never. You should never expect something like that to happen in LA because he has to do so much offensively where he's not even going to bother trying on defense. I like this comment from Mr. Zyfex. This is his first comment. He came in from the TikTok stream and he said, DA is soft AF. I want to like him, but he's just watching things happen all the time. I absolutely agree. Be sure to join the Discord, man, if you want to get into real conversations about basketball, man. So I'm not going to talk about where DeAndre Ayton's going right now, but I do genuinely believe that something has to change in LA because at this point in time, you can't have Luka Doncic just absolutely carrying the hell out of this team because something, God forbid, is going to happen. An injury could happen, exhaustion could happen, and just straight up going into the playoffs crawling is not going to work. Now, I'm going to just let everybody know, I think whoever has the Los Angeles Lakers in the first round is essentially getting a bye because I don't see the Los Angeles Lakers putting up any sort of fight against any of these teams that they would potentially go up against. And am I crazy for saying any of that? I genuinely don't think so. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't have the Lakers beating any of these teams in the West. Right now, they would match up against the Timberwolves. We saw what happened with the Timberwolves last year. We saw what happened. It was a clean sweep. Let's put him up against the Nuggets. Do you really think DeAndre Ayton is going to be able to just get in Jokic's way at all? And who's going to stop all the other guys? Okay. What about the Phoenix Suns? The Phoenix Suns. You guys need to realize something, right? People look at star players. This man, Roosh, in the Twitch stream is telling me, we haven't seen the big three play together much. Luka, AR, and LeBron. The Lakers will be fine. Well, let me hit you with some logic because clearly you don't want it. The Los Angeles Lakers struggle against one archetype in the NBA, and that's athleticism. And you know what the teams who have less star power have over the Los Angeles Lakers? Athleticism. You can look at every match that they've played against any team that has any sort of athleticism, and they get swamped. They get absolutely ran out of the arena. Now let's look at their stats in case you still need more convincing. The Los Angeles Lakers are 26th in rebounding. That's effort and athleticism. They are 26th in assists. They don't move the ball because none of them trust each other. They are 29th in blocks because none of them can jump and none of them show any lack of care on the defensive side. 23rd in field goals made because they're attempting nothing but three-pointers. Field goals attempted, they are 29th in the NBA because they only take threes. They are 23rd in three-pointers made, 23rd in three-pointers attempted, and 30th in three-point percentage. So when you're shooting low percentage shots and you are attempting as many threes and as many deep twos as you are, this is not working. The stats are right in front of everybody. This is quite clear as day. Hell, look at the defensive side. They're giving up 22 steals because they're turning the ball over that much. They're giving up 27th in assists because they are allowing people to just run them out the gym. They are allowing the best three-point percentage in the NBA right now because none of them want to move. I'm being told, I agree, we have a harder time against athletic teams. If you want to look at stats, what is our clutch game record? Okay, you want to pull up the clutch record stats. Roosh, what you guys need to understand is you can't look at single-handed stats just like that because Roosh, yes, the Los Angeles, in case you guys don't know, the Los Angeles Lakers lead the NBA right now in clutch game wins. In fact, they are undefeated in clutch game wins. Are you guys ready to get a quick laugh out of this? Guess what team in the NBA has the least amount of clutch game minutes? The Los Angeles Lakers. So while the Lakers are undefeated in clutch games, they have the least amount of time spent in clutch games. If you guys don't understand the statistic about clutch games like Roosh, let me explain it to you guys. The way clutch games work are games in single digits under 5 minutes left in the game. So that means when the 5 minutes start at the end of the game, the Lakers could be within 6 points and then they just go up and they shoot it to 10. And then there you go. They're out of clutch game time. So while the Lakers are undefeated in clutch game time, they are also the lead. They are leading that category in the least amount of clutch game time because the real statistic shows that the Detroit Pistons are number one in clutch games when you account for the time spent in clutch games. The Detroit Pistons also have the most wins in single-digit games. When the Los Angeles Lakers lose, they don't just lose. They lose by a lot. In fact, this team on average is losing by 12 points per game. In games they lose by 12. So something that people just don't want to admit about the Los Angeles Lakers is that they are straight up not competitive. They are 7-9 against teams over 500. And from what I've heard, it's the playoffs. It's different. This roster in the playoffs is going to be comedy because you don't have any of the pieces that Luka Doncic needs around him to survive. You don't have a rim running big. You don't have any defense on the wing. You don't have any shooting. What does this team have against any of the teams in their conference? The Thunder are sweeping them. The Spurs are sweeping them. The Nuggets are sweeping them. The Timberwolves swept them and will sweep them. The Suns are way too athletic to hold them. The Rockets are too big. The Rockets are too big. The only team I could realistically see them beat is the Warriors and the Clippers. You know why? Because they're old and slow. They are old and slow. And I'm being told that the Lakers need Triple J. Why? So that they can fall to, instead of being the 28th in rebounding, they can be 29th. Jaren Jackson Jr. doesn't get rebounds. Jaren Jackson Jr. has only started playing defense recently because Morant's not playing. This team, I understand you can turn it on in the playoffs. I understand what people say about LeBron James turning on. He's 41 years old. I understand Luka turning on. Luka's been turned on all year. In fact, I have a funny statistic for everybody that wants to defend the Los Angeles Lakers. Since people are still believing that the Lakers have any chance behind Luka Doncic, you guys ready for a really fun stat? In fact, I prepared this for today's episode. You guys ready? Did you guys know, I need you guys to listen up as well. Did you guys know that if Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, over his next 7 games, you follow me, Shai's next 7 games, if he went a combined 0 for 133 field goals, 0 for 49 3-point attempts, 0 for 42 free throw attempts, and he got 91 turnovers. Again, in his next 7 games, if he did all of those things, he would still be shooting higher percentages and still be averaging less turnovers than Luka Doncic. If Shai goes 0 for 133, 0 for 49 from 3, 0 for 42 from the free throw line, and 91 turnovers in his next 7 games, he's still shooting higher percentage and averaging less turnovers than Luka Doncic. And now I'm being told by another coping Lakers fan, when he's off the books next year, don't be surprised we sign Nikola Jokic. All right, ladies and gentlemen, in case you guys don't know, something we do around here is we no longer read messages from morons, okay? And something we're going to stop from here on out is read messages from Rushington. TikTok, if you guys are enjoying the stream, be sure to swing right on into the Twitch stream, because apparently the Lakers are not only getting Nikola Jokic, they're also getting Giannis Antetokounmpo. They're also getting Jalen Johnson. In fact, they already got Jalen Duren. The trade is official, in case you guys don't know. And they're also trading Luka Doncic for prime Michael Jordan. The Los Angeles Lakers have a time machine, in case nobody knows. So I'm going to repeat this one more time for everybody in the TikTok stream. If you guys are enjoying this stream, be sure to swing right on into the Twitch stream, because your opinion means way more in the Twitch than it does in the TikTok. Just so you guys know, everybody in the Twitch stream becomes a part of my community. You join the Discord, you react to your role and get your team color and the username for your Discord server. You join up to the Twitch stream, and if you just watch 3 Twitch streams in a row, I will be gifting you a $5 sub, so you no longer get any ads on Twitch. So swing on over to the Twitch stream, join a real basketball knowing community, because my community right now, we don't allow any toxicity like what happens on Twitter, like what happens on Reddit, like what happens on TikTok. So be sure to swing on into the Twitch stream. Double X, massive shout out to you for leaving the TikTok stream and coming through to the Twitch. TikTok, if you guys don't know how to come to the Twitch stream, click the profile picture at the top left. Click the link in my bio, or simply just go to Twitch and look up Jay-Z Uncut. We'd love to have you over here. Double X, we will be talking about trades later on in today's episode. For now, let's move on from the Los Angeles Fakers, and let's talk about another game from last night. The Utah Jazz absolutely waxing the Cleveland Cavaliers. Now, as you guys know, my favorite thing about podcasting is bringing fun stats, right? It's about bringing fun stats. Well, here's a not so fun stat for Cleveland fans. The Cleveland Cavaliers now have 19 losses. Do you guys know that that's exactly how many losses they had last year in an 82-game season? Do you guys know that the season still has 41 games left to play? We're exactly halfway into the NBA season, and the Cleveland Cavaliers have already lost the same amount of games as last year. Now, that's not great. That is not great. TikTok, be sure to swing out right on into the Twitch stream. We are waiting for you. We want to see y'all come through. Texie came into the Twitch and said, I'm coming into this chat from TikTok to tell you congratulations on being one of the 10 wins the Kings actually have. Why are you congratulating me? I'm not a Kings fan. Go back to the TikTok, dumb fuck. Anyways, let's continue with the Cleveland Cavaliers. Another fun statistic for everybody that's not a Cleveland Cavaliers fan is, well, the Cleveland Cavaliers right now have been booed off their home court. That's not great. They were booed off their home court, right? Booed off their home court. You're a Laker fan? I am the furthest thing from a Laker fan. I am a Detroit Pistons fan, Texie. You're a Kings fan? Why are you being mean to me then? That is just, that's crazy. I'm a Pistons fan. I am the furthest thing imaginable from a Lakers fan. Texie, are you in our Discord? Join our Discord then, idiot. We need some Kings fans. We are like, right now, I hate to get sidetracked, but right now, we are like Thanos. We are like Thanos. We are trying to collect a fan of every single team in the NBA. Right now, we still need a Kings fan. So, Texie, be sure to join our Discord and react to the role accordingly. We need a Kings fan. We need Mavs fans. We need Jazz fans. We need a lot of fans. Yes, this is live, TikTok. So be sure to swing on into the Twitch stream. We're trying to gain fans of every single franchise. We don't have any Kings fans in our Discord. We also don't have any Mavs fans. Wait, we have a Jazz fan in the TikTok. Avery, you better get your Mormon ass into the Twitch stream immediately. Immediately. We don't have any Jazz fans. And I want to talk about Keontae George and Lauri Markkanen with other people. We don't have any Grizzlies. Come through. Come through, Eli. We need a lot of fans left in the NBA. We don't have any Portland fans. We don't have a lot of fans. So be sure to swing right on into the Twitch stream. Jay-Z Uncut on Twitch. The link is in my bio, TikTok. The link is in my bio, or just go to Twitch and look up Jay-Z Uncut. We're trying to gain as many fans of their teams into the NBA, into our Discord, all right? We need all of you guys. We need all of you guys into the Twitch stream, all right? Roosh, we're keeping politics out of this because right now we're just talking basketball, not politics. You don't have to be a fan of a player's beliefs, or you can leave all of that out of the stream. We need Phoenix fans. We need Bulls fans. We need all of those fans into this Twitch stream right now. Link in my bio, TikTok. Link in my bio. I saw Double X came through to the Twitch. We're waiting on more of you guys, man. Come on in. Come on in. So let's talk about the Cavs real quick. All right. We've low-key got sidetracked. The Cleveland Cavaliers. If you guys remember at the beginning of this season, I said something. I said, and I quote, nobody cares about how many wins the Cleveland Cavaliers get this year. And I was saying that expecting anywhere between like 50 and 60. That's what my intention was. My intention was they'd get like 50 to 60, but nobody would care because of how they won all those games last year and then evidently crumbled into the playoffs. Eli, the Twitch is Jay-Z Uncut. The link is in my bio. I want you guys to come through to the Twitch stream and join a real basketball knowing community, man. Come through. And when I said that, I was like, they'll get 50 to 60 wins. So yeah, nobody will care. Nobody will care about how many wins they get. I didn't mean like this because now we care. Now we care. I was not expecting this out of the Cleveland Cavaliers, but it's here. And I'm being told that they didn't crumble last year. They had some big injuries. Now, regardless of those injuries, if you have a leader in Donovan Mitchell that we're told that he is, if you have a couple games out of Evan Mobley, if you have Jared Allen, if you have a couple games out of Darius Garland as well, we don't expect them to crumble the way that they did, right? People are telling me Mobley and Garland were hurt in the playoffs. That's fine. But with your record and all those games you missed those guys in the regular season, this didn't happen. We're going to be talking about it in a second. Merk, thank you so much for leaving the TikTok stream and coming through to the Twitch stream. I appreciate you very, very much, Merk. Thank you very, very much for leaving the TikTok stream and coming through to the Twitch. That's a great decision that you just made, bro. Make sure to join the Discord as well. If you guys do come to the Twitch stream, first thing that you should let me know is what kind of fan you are, what fan of a team you are. Now, here's the thing. They played in game 4 and they won by 60 points. So that's another big component. They played and they still lost. And now I'm being told that, yeah, wait until we get this player back. Wait until we get this player back. Wait until we get that player back. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you have all those players back on what's happening. What, you're still waiting on Max Strus? Max Strus is going to turn you guys into what you believed. They have the same amount of losses that they did all last year, and there's still 41 games left in the season. Now, I have made an executive decision here, and I'm trying not to talk about the Cleveland Cavaliers as much, right? Because every time I think that they're getting going, they end up looking worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. I'm going to read a comment from one of my longer Cavs fans, Mr. Burp. He said, I have accepted, by the way, these messages, all that I'm reading are in the Twitch stream. So if you guys want to talk to me, talk to the community, make sure to come through to the Twitch stream. Jay-Z Uncut on Twitch, link in my bio. I have accepted that my Cavs might not make the playoffs. They're going to make the playoffs. And if they do make the playoffs, you will make the playoffs. We will get bounced in the first round, probably. This team has no consistency at all, and the people we expect to produce are not producing at all. It's time to make some trades. In fact, I think it's time that you got to make some executive decisions here. If you're going to be consistently getting a 15-point and 8 or 9 rebound game from Evan Mobley, and he's not going to bulk up and gain strength, you can't teach effort. And here's one thing that I've noticed. Jared Allen, 4 rebounds. You are 7 foot. You are 7'5" with your afro. Are the lights really still bright? Are the lights that bright at home against the Utah Jazz? You're going for 8 points and 4 rebounds? It's really telling when Jared Allen is involved into the offense how much better this team is at basketball. When Jared Allen scores a minimum of 16 points in a game, the Cleveland Cavaliers, I believe, have only lost 1 game this season. DeAndre Hunter, it's looking very clearly that they need Karis LeVert back. And take him. I don't want him. Take Careless LeVert. Take him. Because DeAndre Hunter is a bona fide stud for the first 2 months of every NBA season off the bench. And then you think, oh man, this guy's good. This guy's good. This guy's good. Let's throw him in the starting lineup. And then he's ass again. No effort by him at all. All he does is hunt for three-pointers. He doesn't try at all to play anywhere on the court better than his opposing, better than anybody he's up against. Now, I got to talk about Darius Garland and Donovan Mitchell because I think I have to. It's time. They're not going to trade Donovan Mitchell. They're not going to, right? So I think it's time. And by the way, if you decide to trade Darius Garland, not only does this team get significantly worse, but it's going to get a lot worse than it's going to get better, because at that point, you may as well trade Evan Mobley and you may as well trade Jared Allen. And then your lone player is Donovan Mitchell. Now, hear me out. By trading Darius Garland, your entire offense from then on is Laker ball. You don't know what I mean by that? Let me explain. Donovan Mitchell doesn't get anybody else involved. Darius Garland, I know health has been an issue, but at least he gets his teammates involved. So if you make a trade, I would argue that it should be Donovan Mitchell, the guy that got JB Bickerstaff fired. The guy that's going to get Kenny Atkinson, because I'm sick. I am sick and tired of seeing players get these coaches fired for no reason. I'm sick of it. JB Bickerstaff didn't deserve it in Cleveland. Kenny Atkinson's not going to deserve it now. Kenny Atkinson, I will be so real with you guys. Let me be so blunt and honest about Kenny Atkinson. He is a good coach. You know what his fault is? For trying new things. And you know when you have to try new things as a head coach? When your old things aren't fucking working. Excuse my French. When your coach is trying new thing after new thing after new thing after new thing, and it's still not working, why do you think so? It's because the players are not buying in on what you're selling. This has happened thousands of times in the NBA. I'm being told that JB Bickerstaff deserved it and they needed to fire him to propel higher. Where'd they propel to? Where did they propel to? Did they win a championship that I'm unsure of? Did Kenny Atkinson win Coach of the Year the next year because they won a lot of games? They propelled back into a second-round loss against the Indiana Pacers. I want to give a special shout-out to Hollow for Life for leaving the TikTok stream and coming through to the Twitch stream. Massive, massive, massive shout-out to all of the legends that are leaving the TikTok and coming through to the Twitch stream. When you guys do come to the Twitch, let me know who you're a fan of. And remember, guys, anybody that does join the Twitch stream, if you guys want to get your messages read out loud, make sure it pertains to the topic on what we're talking about. I would love to see you guys come through to the Twitch stream. The link is in my bio on the TikTok, or just go to Twitch and look up Jay-Z Uncut. That's where the real basketball knowledge is. Now, my whole argument on the coach getting fired shtick is some coaches, yes, they deserve it, like a Willie Green, right? I understand that. But now let's look. I just saw a crazy take saying Hoodie Garland on Twitter deserved this. I absolutely agree. Let's just look at the Cleveland Cavaliers one final time, okay? By firing Kenny Atkinson, you are giving exactly what Donovan Mitchell wants. And here's the thing. Donovan Mitchell doesn't know what he wants. At the end of the Cavaliers Pistons game, Donovan Mitchell went and hugged JB Bickerstaff for a solid 10 seconds. And he was whispering in his ear. You know what Donovan Mitchell was probably whispering in JB's ear? Sorry, bro. Because Donovan Mitchell doesn't know how good he had it. Donovan Mitchell doesn't realize how good he had it. Because now he has Kenny Atkinson and he's blaming the next coach and the next coach and the next coach. Some players get coaches fired. And Donovan Mitchell, while he's a great player, I think at best in his NBA career, which we probably will never see, is being a 1B. So if you want to stick him next to a Cade Cunningham, if you want to stick him next to a Devin Booker, if you want to stick him next to a who the hell else would do decently next to Donovan Mitchell? It's in fact, I would argue that he wouldn't play well with Devin Booker because they both need the ball to score. So this is where you need to really make a consideration here. This is where you need to look at, because I think it's time that we talk about this. I was saving it for later, but I think it's time we need to talk about this going into the next segment, okay? I'd like to give a special shout out to the homie Tada. He said, I came from the TikTok stream. I'm a sad Lakers fan. Well, sad Lakers fan, be sure to join the Discord, all right? Because here's the good thing about my community. When a team is down, we don't bury them. We don't step on them. We don't add salt to the wound. My community is very unlike Twitter. It's very unlike TikTok and Reddit. If you guys want to join a genuine, comforting basketball community, unless you're familiar with everybody and you've gotten to know people like Skylar, Lee, and Papo, if your team loses, chances are you're going to get comforted in our Discord. So be sure to join the Discord where we actually have real basketball conversations and where we live talk throughout all NBA games every single night. Doesn't that sound fun? You don't need to watch games by yourself anymore. You can watch with other people. So join the Twitch stream, Jay-Z Uncut, link in my bio, and join the Discord once you get over here. I was going to save this for later, but let's fucking talk about it. All right, guys? So there's some franchises right now that I've talked about and that I need to emphasize that they need to win now. Let's talk about it real quick, everybody. So I'm going to show it on my screen for all the streams that are happening right now. It's Dub said, I came from TikTok. I'm a die-hard Celtics fan. That's awesome. Hell yeah. Welcome on in, baby. Dub, make sure to join the Discord. We need as many Celtics fans as possible. Bobasita said, came here from TikTok. My take on the Cavs is they need to trade Mitchell or Garland. Then Kenny's just trying to get both of them as a number one option, and it isn't working. I fully agree with you, Bobby. I fully agree with you. We need more Cavs fans in the Discord, bro. So can you please join up? And then if you guys want to instruct them what they should do when they join the Discord, awesome. I want to give special shout outs to Tuda, Dub, Babasita, and Doc G Bless. Shout out to all of you individuals for leaving the TikTok stream and coming through to the Twitch stream. I appreciate you guys very, very, very much. Make sure to join the Discord as well, guys. Let's talk about this. I've talked about it a lot, but now I have the proof, and we got to talk about it, ladies and gents. You guys ready? Here we go. What I'm about to show you are the rosters and their salary for all of their teams. I didn't want to talk about this now, but I think it's time. I apologize to my Cavs fans. And there's a reason why I've been putting so much pressure on the Knicks this year, and this is it. The Cleveland Cavaliers have the highest payroll in the NBA right now. They have the highest payroll in the NBA. So they are in immediate win now. And guess what they're not doing? They're not winning now. They have lost the same amount of games as last year in 41 games less. The New York Knicks, this is why I've said that they have to win this year. Otherwise, it's over for this core. So that's very concerning. So when Knicks fans talk shit to me, and I'm a Pistons fan, guess what I can say? Well, we're one Tobias Harris trade away from being the lowest payroll in the entire league. And we are somehow the number one seed in the East. If the Pistons trade Tobias Harris, they are the lowest payroll in the entire NBA. The Pistons, who have the fourth lowest payroll, are the second seed in the entire NBA ranking, number one in the East. So this is what I say to all the Knicks fans, to all the Cavs fans, to all of these fans of other franchises. This is what is leading the East right now. Like I said, you trade Tobias Harris and you are automatically the lowest payroll in the entire NBA. More than a team that has 7 fucking rookies. Let's look at the other teams here. And if you see your team, I apologize. Warriors, you already know. Mavs, yep, that's AD and Kyrie Irving. That's tough. PJ Washington, they're expensive. The Timberwolves, it's bad. It's bad. Rudy Gobert is pretty much more than a quarter of this. Then you have the Celtics. They are trying to get below that tax, but they need to trade Anthony Simons in order to do so. The Rockets, they can't do much. They're in the second apron. The 76ers, that's not great for them. But as you know, Paul George and Joel Embiid aren't cheap. The Lakers, top 10, and all they have is Luka Doncic. The Orlando Magic, which is why I put so much pressure on the Orlando Magic this year. There's no reason that you guys are this high. And then look at how high they climb to next year. Next year, ladies and gentlemen, the Orlando Magic are the second most expensive team in the NBA. Actually, my apologies. Next year, the Orlando Magic are the most expensive team in the NBA. So for my Magic fans, what do? Next year, the Orlando Magic are the most expensive team in the NBA. They're 11th this year. They are first next year. So the Orlando Magic have throttled themselves into purgatory because this roster is not a championship level roster. So now they have forced themselves and cornered themselves that they have to make a trade of either, yep, you guessed it, the Orlando Magic need to trade Franz Wagner or Paolo Banchero. Otherwise, the Orlando Magic have yet again made a jump too soon. So now I have to reiterate this. And this is not to add salt to the wound to you, Mark. I read the TikTok chat a little bit, JMO, but I've prioritized my Twitch chat. So shout out to YN, who just came through to the Twitch stream from the TikTok. I appreciate you very, very much. Shout out to you for leaving the TikTok and coming through to the Twitch stream. I just want to say this before we move on to our up-down report, okay? I want to talk about this, all right? The Pistons have came out and said that they won't make a big trade. It will be marginal, if anything. Do you guys see why people are blaming Trajan Langdon, the Pistons GM, on not making a trade, not a big trade, but a marginal trade by this deadline? Because all of these other teams make that big trade, and then there you go. They have forced their timeline. And by forcing your timeline, you are admitting that you are not confident in the future. The Orlando Magic rushed their timeline. They rushed it by trading for Bane. They did not need to do that. And what the Pistons don't want to do right now is rush their timeline. You know why, ladies and gentlemen? Because they are ahead of their timeline. With their current roster, they are ahead of that timeline. So why rush and make a big leap when something doesn't happen? Needing a secondary scorer or a secondary shooter is very different than going and trading 4 first-round picks for a dinosaur-armed light skin out in Orlando. Let's move on to our next segment, ladies and gentlemen. This one's going to be fun. This is going to be a group participant activity. So if you guys are enjoying the stream, be sure to come through to the Twitch stream, Jay-Z Uncut. The link is in my bio, and join the Discord once you're here. We're trying to gain fans of every franchise in the NBA, and we're still missing a lot of fans of franchises. Remember, guys, the Twitch stream is the best stream to hang out in. Let's move on to our up-down report, ladies and gentlemen. In case you guys don't know what the up-down report, we do it every once in a while. We haven't done it in over a month because we were on our cruise and vacation for 2 weeks. So basically, I'm going to say, are you up or down? And then I will state a statement, and you will let me know if you're up or down on that happening. Meaning, if you're up, you think it's going to happen. If you're down, you think it's not going to happen. Now, mind you, this is up or down trade edition, okay? This is the up or down trade edition because we are nearing the trade deadline. And in fact, starting January 15th, a lot of players that weren't allowed to be traded the past month can now get traded. All right, let's start with our very first option. We have a few of them. I think we have 7 of them, maybe 8. Are you up or down on Anthony Davis still being traded? I'll give you guys like 10 seconds while I state my case. Anthony Davis was just recently injured. Anthony Davis is also averaging 20 points, 11 rebounds, almost 3 assists, 1 steal, almost 2 blocks, playing 31 minutes a game, shooting 50% from the field and 27% from 3, 72% from the free throw line on a 55% true shooting. Now, unfortunately for Anthony Davis, he had just hurt a ligament in his arm. So this is by the deadline, everybody. This isn't in the offseason. This is by the deadline. So if you don't believe that he's going to get traded now, then you are down on this report, okay? If you think he's going to get traded by the deadline, you are up on this report. In case anybody needs more explanation, that is what it's going as. And I'm seeing a lot of ups. I'm seeing a lot of ups in the Twitch stream. A lot of ups and some downs, and I respect some of those, to be honest. Now, let me give you mine. I am still up on it because this ligament in the hands really doesn't change a whole lot. Now, I'm sort of like standstill here because let me explain. Let's say this injury to Anthony Davis didn't happen, okay? Let's say he's still playing. We're all up on that, right? I just want to make it, anybody that said down, if he wasn't hurt right now, would you be saying up right now? If he wasn't hurt right this second, would you be saying up? Now, I have a counter to that question. Anthony Davis was hurt when they traded him to the Mavericks anyways. He was already hurt. Now, here's the issue. That's not stopping Mark Cuban from making this trade now that he's actually back in the helm. Okay? He was already hurt when he got traded for Luka Doncic. And now hear me out again, ladies and gentlemen. Davis did not play for the Mavs until a month because he had a hamstring injury, and then they rushed him back and he got hurt again. Anthony Davis was hurt during the trade. He didn't play for the Mavericks right away. Now, let's talk about what I believe here. If he wasn't hurt, guess what's happening? Whoever that trades for Anthony Davis knows he's going to get hurt again. He's had 14 different injuries in the last 11 months. Cuban doesn't own the team anymore, but it was up to the original agreement where now he can make the decisions. So my point being is anybody that was going to trade for Anthony Davis, they know the risk of getting Anthony Davis. The only issue now is that if he does need surgery, a team that feels like they have enough right now to win now won't be making this trade. The Atlanta Hawks won't be making this trade. The Toronto Raptors won't be making this trade because they believe that they can win right now and that this is like their best opportunity. The unfortunate thing for Anthony Davis is the fact that he still has 2 more years on his contract. That's a lot of moolah. That's a lot of money. So I'm really on the fence about this, but I think I will still say up. I think a team will get desperate enough to trade for him. How about the Los Angeles Lakers? They need a big man that can defend. Oh, wait. Let's move on to our next one. Ladies and gentlemen, get ready. Are you up or down on Michael Porter Jr. being traded? Now, this is the only player on this list that they have come out and said, all the reports, that he is a lock to get traded. He is a lock to get traded this year. Now, I'm going to read all you his averages right now because it's actually, in case you don't know, this motherfucker is different right now this year. He is averaging 26 points per game, 7.5 rebounds, 3.5 assists, 1 steal, 49% from the field, and 40.5% from 3. Do you know on how many attempts, by the way? He is attempting almost 10 threes a night, and he is shooting 41% from 3. He is taking a career high in threes while also averaging damn near a career high in threes, percentage-wise. Now, people want to tell me that they're empty stats. And while you're right, you are right. I believe this is up. I believe Michael Porter Jr. will be getting traded. But here's the thing. Empty stats or not, if he can do half of this on the same percentages for any team in the NBA, they would love to have him. I'll just say this. You put Michael Porter Jr. on the Pistons, genuinely, and the Pistons only have to give up Tobias Harris, Ivy, and a first-round pick. I know I'm a Pistons fan. The Pistons are going to the finals straight up. There's nobody stopping the Detroit Pistons from going to the finals if they get MPJ. Straight up. There's absolutely nothing stopping it because now you have another secondary scorer. You have another secondary shooter. Like, imagine that lineup. It would be Cade, Duncan, MPJ, Asar Thompson, Jalen Duren. That's unbelievable. Now, let's move on to our next one because I believe we all agree. I don't think I saw a single down that MPJ will be getting Oh, Roosh actually said down, but we don't care about what Roosh says because he said the Lakers are getting Nikola Jokic next summer. Are you up or down on the Warriors finally freeing this man from his shackles and trading Jonathan Kuminga, who is available to trade in 2 days? That's right. They've had to wait an extra month to make this trade, but he is available to get traded tomorrow. Just to remind everybody, he hasn't played in weeks, but he hasn't played in a month. That's actually insane. Steve Kerr, you are a disgrace. He is averaging 12 points per game, over 6 rebounds, 2.5 assists in 24 minutes, and he's shooting 43% from the field and 32% from 3 on low minutes. I got to be honest, I want to see Kuminga on a bad team, not a bad team like the Warriors. I just want to see him on a bad team like MPJ right now and just ball the hell out. I like, honestly, as a pure hoops fan like me, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to see this man ball out. But I'm afraid that no other team is probably going to make a trade like that other than like the Sacramento Kings. Because I don't think a lot of players want Jonathan Kuminga. The Shanghai Sharks have been calling, bro. That's crazy, Des. Come on, that is just out of pocket. TikTok, if you guys are enjoying the stream and you guys want me to read your messages, make sure you guys swing on into the Twitch stream. It's a much better viewing experience. It's a much better experience for you as a basketball fan. We got nothing but basketball fans in the Twitch stream. We'd love to have you join the Twitch right now. The link is in my bio, Jay-Z Uncut on Twitch. Guys, remember, if you watch on the Twitch stream for 3 streams in a row, I will gift you a $5 sub so you no longer get ads. That's not a joke. If you watch the Twitch stream for 3 streams in a row and prove it, I will gift you a $5 sub so you no longer get ads. I'm up on Kuminga. I think, yeah, Kuminga to the Bulls. Kuminga on Pistons bench. That would be nasty. Kuminga, you are a Hornet. Steve Kerr honestly sat this guy for way too long, and I'm pretty pissed off over it, man. I'm pretty pissed off over it. Genuinely. Let's go ahead and move on to our next one. All right? Let's move on to our next one. Are you up or down on Ja Morant being traded by the deadline? Remember, these are all deadline conversations, ladies and gentlemen. Are you up or down on the career low 20% from 3-point, 40% from field goal range, averaging 19 points, 3.2 rebounds, and 7.5 assists, 1 steal a game? Well, he's shooting a 40-20-90, not exactly the percentages that you want out of a max contract player. In fact, I'm seeing so many ups right now. I have a conversation that I got to bring up to everybody here, okay? I'm baffled, truly, because let me explain something. And this is a stat that I said a few days ago that not many of you guys heard. Kyle, massive shout out to you for leaving the TikTok and coming through to the Twitch stream. I appreciate you, brother. Welcome on in. Make sure to join the Discord as well, my man. We're looking for all of you guys to join the Discord so we can watch games together, all right? You guys want to hear a fun stat? Not for Ja fans, not for Memphis fans, but you guys want to hear a fun stat for all of you guys that are saying up? Did you guys know that Ja Morant just played 6 games in a row? You're probably thinking, so what, Jay-Z? Who cares? Would you believe that is his longest streak of games played since January 2023? That's 3 years ago. Do you guys understand that 6 games are 2 weeks of games? You're telling me a max contract player is only one time in the last 3 years has he played 6 games in a row? That's 2 weeks of games. And he hasn't done it in 3 years. Ja has played less games over the past 3 years than Zion Williamson. Now, I love this comment that Tutta just said. Tutta, I can already tell that you're about to be a valuable member of this community. Let's get a gifted sub for Tutta. He said, I'm up, but who wants a PG that can't spread the floor for real and he's a mid playmaker? I agree with this guy, man. I agree with Tutta. Can we get some W Tuttas in the chat? Let's talk about this real quick, Scabby. Let's talk about this, ladies and gentlemen. Ja Morant, his athleticism has left him, but I guarantee that if you trade his ass to South Beach, all of a sudden, you're going to start seeing this man dunk again. I would like to give a special shout out to Basic Ma for gifting a $5 subscription to the man Tutta. Tutta, you better have joined the Discord, my boy. You better have joined the Discord after Basic Ma just spent $5 so you no longer get ads. My man, Basic Ma. Thank you, baby. Now, his weird rotation, sure, I can agree to an extent. But can we all just imagine real quick? Let's say, because it's not out of the realm of possibility. I'm going to bring up an example, a crazy example here, ladies and gents. Please listen up. Please listen up. Do we have any old heads in here? I'm talking old head, because I don't remember this. I had to do some research to figure out this stat. Do we have any old heads? I'm talking genuine old heads that were around the league, like when Vince Carter was in Toronto, when, when Jason Williams was saying the N-word on the court, right? Like, I'm talking actual old heads. Vancouver Grizzlies were a thing. Do you guys remember any of this? Do we have any old heads in the building? It's okay if you are, but I have a genuine question for you guys, okay? If you were around those times, I'm going to bring up an example that only you guys will understand. I'm talking prime Vinsanity in Toronto. Mike, I need you to remind me of something because I'm about to say it and I want you to be like, damn, I forgot about that. I want you to feel dizzy and think, holy shit, that was 26 years ago. Do you guys remember Vince Carter forced a trade out of Toronto? He was sick of it. He was sick of losing. Vince Carter forced a trade out, right? Do you guys remember where he forced that trade out? He went to New Jersey, okay? In case you guys don't remember, Vince Carter was a max player. Vince Carter was the franchise player. Vince Carter was the highlight reel, super athletic demon time, dunking on everybody. And then all of a sudden, a couple tic-tac injuries. And then all of a sudden, before he got traded, for that whole season prior to him getting traded, he stopped dunking. He stopped dunking. And everybody was saying, has Vince's athleticism left him? Has Vince's athleticism left him? He stopped dunking. The moment he got traded to New Jersey, all of a sudden, bro is just dunking on everybody again. I'm talking meaner dunks. I'm talking tougher dunks. I am talking straight posters on anybody around the rim. Are you guys noticing the somewhat similar trend right now that's happening with Jonathan Morant? Blake Griffin, to an extent, his body was actual shattered to all hell. I'm talking pure Vince Carter. This is the same exact experience. In fact, it gets a little scary. Vince Carter was a two-time All-Star at that same time. And the same thing happened with Vince Carter. Now, I think the same thing is going to happen with Ja. He's giving very minimal effort. He gave up on a couple games this year. That one-handed behind the back, cock back on Alonzo Mourning. You guys remember what I'm talking about. All of a sudden, RN, he was bouncy again. So I think the same exact thing is about to happen. Funko said, I'm sad that I'm considered an old man. I'm sorry. I think the same thing is going to happen here with Jonathan Morant. I think all of a sudden you're going to trade this man to South Beach. He's going to get some sushi and some ass. And all of a sudden, this guy's going to start jumping out of the gym again. Now, he's never been a good three-point shooter. He's a career 31% three-point shooter. So I don't think that's going to magically fix because that has never happened before. He's never been a good three-point shooter. But something I think you will see is his excitement, his joy for basketball coming back. So I think whoever gets Ja Morant, mind you, I think, like, let's just use Miami as an example because I think they are somewhat the front runner for this. I think Ja Morant, I think you're going to get a really good half season for Ja, but then you are locked in for the next 3 years with Ja Morant. So I think the half season, I think you're going to be like, yeah, man, this is a good ass trade. Forget Hero, forget Fempupio, forget all those guys, man. We got Jonathan Morant. But then you have to realize that you're stuck with him until 2030. Same thing's going to happen. Same drama's going to happen. Same cancer to the locker room is going to happen. Coaches are going to get fired. People are going to lose their joy for basketball. And he's going to realize that sushi and some ass ain't enough to keep me happy. But I think the half the year will be fun. Now let's move on. Tada, I apologize. I'll read Tada's message just because he's a goat. He said, I think Ja isn't buying in with the current coach. He wanted the last coach fired, though. He wanted this coach to step up, Tada. Hopefully he'll get somewhere where he's having fun again. Fun player to watch, but will never bring you a championship or anything. He wanted that coach to get fired, by the way. And now he wants this coach to get fired. Spo won't get fired. You guys are right. Absolutely. Let's move on. Ladies and gentlemen, this podcast has dragged. We are almost an hour long. Let's move on. Are you up or down on Tyler Hero being traded? Are you up or down on Miami Heat's all-star reserve from last year, averaging 22 points per game, 5.5 rebounds per game, almost 3 assists, less than a steal, half a block, 31 minutes per game, shooting 49% from field and 34.5% from three. So not great, but health has also been an issue on this. So my question to you, are you up or down on Tyler Hero getting traded by the deadline? I'm honestly in the same boat. I'm on the fence. I'm because if you trade Tyler Hero, you think he's going to get traded in the next 3 weeks. Do you really see Miami getting a better player than Tyler Hero? Because I got to be honest with everybody, man. I think you're pointing the fingers at the wrong number on this team. Y'all are pointing fingers at number 14 when I think you should be pointing fingers at number 13. I think you guys are a little bit dyslexic here. Because Bam Adebayo, in his last 15 games, is putting up career low numbers. He is averaging 13 points, 11 rebounds, and 2.5 assists. He has not scored 20 points since December 15th, and he is being paid $50 million next year. He's being paid $50 million next year. Bam Adebayo is not the best basketball player on the Miami Heat. Bam Adebayo is not the best basketball player in the state of Florida. Bam Adebayo isn't even the best basketball player in his house. And yet everyone's pointing fingers at poor old bad tattoo having Tyler Herro. And I'm not with it, man. I'm not with it. I'm not with it. I want to give a shout out to my homie Avatar for gifting a sub to Master Planner. Master Planner, enjoy your ad-free viewing experience for the next 30 days. Thank you, Avatar, for giving the homie Master Planner a sub so that he can enjoy the stream without ads. Again, TikTok, if you guys are enjoying the stream, you would enjoy it so much more in the Twitch stream. We would love to have y'all. We're trying to look for a bunch of people in the community to join our Twitch and Discord. We'd love to have y'all in here, man. It's a great experience. It's a great vibe all happening in the Twitch stream right now. That's Jay-Z Uncut on Twitch. Look it up on Twitch or click the link in my bio and you'll be shooted right here. As soon as you come to the Twitch, make sure you come through and join the Discord as well. Don't be thanking me, Master Planner. Be sure to thank Avatar for hooking you up with an ad-free viewing experience. I think I am down on Tyler Herro being traded. I don't think Pat Riley's going to pull the trigger. I don't think it's going to happen. I saw a lot of people were up on it. I don't think they get a deal done in the next 3 weeks. Something you guys have to realize here, players like Ja Morant, players like Tyler Herro, what we're going to be noticing here pretty soon is that max contract is not going to get thrown around anymore. Players like Tyler Herro is not going to be getting a max. Players like Bam Adebayo is not going to be getting a max. Players like Ja Morant are not going to be getting the max. There's too many players in the NBA right now who have max contracts that should not have max contracts. You see what's happening right now in the NBA. You see what Trae Young is worth, or I'm sorry, what he's not worth. Trae Young got you a return of CJ McCollum's expiring contract and Corey Kispert. Do you really think that Ja Morant and Tyler Herro have Tyler Herro does, but do you really think that Ja Morant has a higher return than Trae Young? Trae Young he's expired. He's on a player option next year at least. Ja Morant's locked in for 3 more years, y'all. The market has changed. Not by a little bit, by a lot of it. Those max contracts that get thrown around, they're not going to be happening anymore. Teams can't afford it. Let's move on. We're almost done with our up-down report. Ladies and gentlemen, are you up or down on Sacramento blowing it up? This is pretty easy, but it's also confusing at the same time. Do you really think that Vivek is going to take the shackles off of all the Sacramento Kings fans? I mean, I want it to happen. This roster's ass. This roster, they built it just to stay competitive, and yet you have 10 wins to the season. I think you should blow it up. I mean, genuinely, DeMar DeRozan deserves better. Keon Ellis deserves better. Zach LaVine deserves better. Malik Monk for sure deserves better. Keegan Murray deserves better. Domantas Sabonis deserves better. Dennis Schroeder, I think you deserve Sacramento. Russell Westbrook. Yeah, let me not speak on you. I think a lot of players could help these teams. For example, you throw Dennis Schroeder on the Houston Rockets, and I think that would help them a lot. The only issue now is the contract. Sacramento gave Dennis Schroeder a contract that they just can't budge anymore. It was the contract that they gave Dennis Schroeder. I don't know what the hell Dennis Schroeder had on Vivek, but that was his biggest contract that he's ever had in his NBA career. I don't know what the hell they were thinking. Malik Monk can help a lot of teams. DeMar DeRozan could be that final piece to a lot of teams. Keon Ellis has time to grow. He's only 26. He just doesn't get playing time. Zach LaVine could be that final piece to another team as well. Unfortunately, their contracts are just so damn big. They're just so damn big. I'm up on it. I think they're going to blow it up. I think they got to trade him. As you guys know, this is the Sacramento Kings. They are the Chicago Bulls of the West. Let's move on to our final up or down. Are you up or down on the Pistons breaking up their core? Now, before you answer, they are apparently including Tobias Harris into this core, okay? When they asked Trajan, they are apparently including Tobias Harris into this core, who is a $22 million expiring contract on this deal. Now, other people that are included into this core, obviously, Cade Cunningham, Jalen Duren, Isaiah Stewart, Asar Thompson, Tobias Harris, who's 33 years old. Harris is not buns. I will not hear that. And Jaden Ivey. Now, if you guys ask Pistons fans, I would tell you right now, I love what Tobias Harris did for us last year. He honestly stabilized our ship. His veteran leadership helped us beyond belief. I love Tobias. The issue is the Pistons are 11-0 with Tobias out of the lineup. Or I guess now 11-1 because we just lost. But we were also missing 4 other starters. Schroeder helped in the middle of the season, but of course we had Malik Beasley, Tim Hardaway Jr. I wish we kept Tim Hardaway Jr., but we did what we can with what the gambling investigation happened with Malik Beasley. So my point being, the Pistons are playing better without Tobias Harris in the starting lineup. I would prefer that Stu starts and Tobias comes off the bench, but that also limits minutes for Javonte Green, Ron Holland. So I think, in my opinion, as a hardcore Pistons fan, I think I'm ready to move on from Tobias, and I am also ready to move on from Jaden Ivey. I just don't know who would want to trade for Jaden Ivey right now. He is bad. He has not looked good. He's come back from his injury, and he's just flat out looked horrible. He has no leap. He has no burst anymore. The one thing that made Jaden Ivey prolific was his speed, and you thought his finishing was bad before. You should see it now. He loses the ball every time he puts it on the floor. He can't hit a wide open 3 to save his life, and I understand Jaden Ivey hasn't played basketball in 11 months, but it just ain't working right now. So if I were Trajan Landon, I think he doesn't want to shake up what they have. And I understand like what they have right now. I get it. I understand why you don't want to make a move like that when we're winning. He doesn't want to disrupt the chemistry either. That's something that a lot of fans don't really put into account here. Chemistry is a real thing in the NBA, y'all. It's a real thing. It's not like an NBA rebuild in 2K. Chemistry is a real thing. I think if you trade Tobias Harris, I think this team gets worse. Genuinely. I think Tobias Harris being hurt and just collecting his paycheck is better than trading Tobias Harris, because Cade loves Tobias. Duren loves Tobias. Have you guys seen the outfits that Tobias Harris has bought Cade Cunningham and Jalen Duren? They're stylish, man. They're very stylish. Like, he is changing their entire wardrobe. So when I tell you, I think keeping Tobias is probably a wiser business decision. I gotta be flat out honest with y'all, man. I think roughing up the feathers and trading players that your star players love, I don't think it's a good move for most franchises. I don't think it's a good move. They love Tobias, and I don't know if they like Jaden Ivey. Jaden Ivey has had bad vibes all year. He's not smiling. He's the last one off the bench to celebrate with the team. Everyone is excited and jumping up and down, and yet Jaden Ivey is just sitting depressed on the bench. Now, I get it. You know, you were on the bench all last year when the Pistons actually took off. But at some point, you have to realize, like, do you want to be a part of this team or do you want a fresh restart? So I think I'm down. I don't think the Pistons are going to make any trades that are going to significantly shake up their roster. I think that you could see them trading a Caris LeVert. I fucking hope so, because Caris LeVert has got to be the... Woo! Ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be a wrap for today's episode. Twitch chat, stick around for a little bit. Twitch, do not go anywhere. TikTok, YouTube. I see a lot of you guys are still watching over there. So if you guys want some more stream, if you want to join our Discord, if you want to talk with me and the rest of my community, be sure right now is your last chance to swing on into the Twitch stream, ladies and gentlemen. That's Jay-Z Uncut on Twitch. We do these podcasts Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. Eastern. So if you want to get here consistently, if you want to get to know me in the community, if you guys want to talk to other basketball fans and basketball knowers, be sure to swing on into the Twitch. That's Jay-Z Uncut on Twitch. The link is in my bio. Okay? Twitch chat, stick around. Podcast listeners, be sure to leave a 5-star rating and review. I got nothing left to say, y'all, except for thank you for being here. Thank you for being you. And as always, guys, thank you for watching/listening. I'll see y'all tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Eastern for another new episode.